Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. I'm Adam and this is a rather big video I'm doing. This is a ranking video of the 42 monsters from the animated series of What's New Scooby-Doo. Now this was done as a request from Lucas for me to upload for his birthday. So happy birthday Lucas, I hope you like this list. And I must say, I haven't seen What's New Scooby-Doo in ages, but I have seen all the episodes. I have a rough feel of what each monster is. So I thought, why not make a list? Or why not do what he asked and just do a list of this, of all the monsters from my opinion, least favourite to favourite, before we rewatch the series. Now, if you're wondering, my light has changed from last time I used the light because I actually bought a new one. When I went to buy a phone stand, I got a light. I don't even know how that happened, but it's kind of funny if you think about it. But it's also kind of useful, so that's good. Now, please remember, this is completely my opinion. All 42 monsters most likely will not be in the same order as you would put them. But I did it with what I remember from these episodes and just thought, okay, this is my opinion, let's go with it. This is obviously on a piece of paper because I cannot remember all these monsters at once, otherwise I'm going to forget something easily. So let's get right into this. In last place, in 42nd place, is the coral creature. Now the coral creature, I believe, is, well, a monster made of coral. Mystery Inc. Encountered it on their holiday to Australia for a sandcastle building contest featuring Smash Mouth. But the coral creature, I personally don't find that intriguing to watch. I watched that episode so many times when I was a child, I kind of just got bored of it. Not to mention I wasn't a big fan of it at the beginning, so yeah, more to add on to it. Anything else about this one? Probably it's the only good thing is it's the only proper monster on this list. The others were just, as was said in another episode, a creep inside a costume. For coral creature, there wasn't any creature inside of it. It was literally just the coral. 41st place is the Jungle Demons. Now, it's just animals. It's just safari animals painted yellow. I said this multiple times to Lucas. The culprits are absolutely terrible people. Poaching endangered animals just to make a little bit of money. It's not a great thing to do. And to add on, using them as their own kind of monster to scare away any other people trying to figure out what's going on, I think is just kind of a bit bland. I mean, I get it. I get why they're doing that because because vicious animals are going to be a bit terrifying. But I think the execution of it and the fact that the only suspects are the ones that were with the gang, as well as that one wandering traveller person. I can't remember her name. Those are the only suspects, and obviously I think it was kind of obvious who the culprit was. So yeah, you'll find if you have seen that episode before, you'll know what I mean when what they have been doing, and the reason why they're going on that safari does not fit in with what an actual safari is. 40th place is the Dinosaur Spirit, from the same series as the Jungle Demons in series 1. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it. It's just a giant dinosaur. There's, in my opinion, a better dinosaur monster in the Scooby-Doo cartoon, and that's in Legend of the Phantosaur. a movie which I will not be talking about because I have seen it, but I haven't seen it in ages, and I actually do not have the DVD to it, so I can't remember anything. Oops, I got a camp scare though. That's a good one. But yeah, the Dinosaur Spirit, I personally not a big fan of. I'm not really a big fan of the color combination either, with a cyany teal kind of color mixed in with what is a dark lime green. That that color combination honestly makes me like dis displeasured, not really happy. Like, it just makes me want to turn away and not look at it because it just makes me sick from looking at it. Now I just need to find it now. 39th place is Gusano Grande. And yes, I have actually googled the names of all of these monsters, and Gusano Grande is that giant worm monster in Series 2. Honestly, in my opinion, it's just a giant worm. Like with all of my reviews on the Beast Quest books, it's always been the ones that I don't like, which are giant animals. And Gusano Grande is no different. It's just a giant worm. Not to mention, I mean, I get the whole reasoning behind it, kinda. Like, it's just to eliminate races so then this one guy can win, but that's kind of stupid reason. But the background, as well as the worm being in that kind of background, I get kind of the cult, I'm gonna call it. I personally think it's kind of stupid, and it's kind of a waste of time. And the chase scene, this is for the Dinosaur Spirit, Jungle Demons, I didn't really find entertaining at all. The Coral Creature chase scene, I'll give an exception to. It was alright. 38th place is The Vampire, also from Series 2. Same as Gusano Grande. I'm not a big fan of it because, in my opinion, it's kind of boring and not really entertaining as it's kind of a generic villain. Then again, if you think of generic monsters, Frankenstein, zombies, vampires, the Invisible Man, one of them I actually like, so that is kind of hypocritical, but this one, I think this interpretation of the vampire is a bit boring in my opinion, when there's a whole movie of Scooby-Doo, which is Legend of the Vampire, which I'm not a big fan of, but is still much better than that episode in my opinion. 37th place is, I need to find it now, are the Living Toys. Now this one was a memorable monster to me because it's probably something that made me kind of scared of toys when I was a kid, because toys coming alive just attacking people, I was like, yeah, okay, there goes my childhood. But that's it. Like, thinking back to them now, I actually can't remember the reason why the culprit did what they did, or why he or she used toys for that matter. But honestly, it was an alright gimmick just to make children scared of their own toys, but I just think it's stupid now looking back at it. 36th place is Jeeves. Jeeves is the robot in the High Tech House of the Future episode, and all it does is literally just run around trying to, I would say, take out the trash. But it got stopped with something that's pretty obviously going to stop a robot, which, not really great in my opinion. The trap wasn't that intriguing, and the culprit, that's alright. I'll give the culprit some credit. Like the Coral Creature, didn't have anyone inside it, was controlled by someone. Actually, no, the Coral Creature was the Coral Creature was rogue, just being disturbed by someone, and Jeeves was controlled by something. But that's it. The chase scene was, in my opinion, rather short and not that intriguing, really. But that's it. 35th place is, where is it now? I can't find anything. Okay, you're 34th, 35th. 35th is the Snow Creature. Now, when I say snow creature, I mean the... Oh. See, it's actually called the snow creature because there's another snow or related monster called the headless snowman. And but that's the Christmas special. I'm talking about the snow creature, the one that was in the first episode of What's New Scooby Doo with that whole snowboarding competition. I found it kind of intriguing. It's mediocre, rather kind of entertaining, but not really memorable though, because it doesn't really have anything going for it apart from it kind of ended that kind of tradition where it's like, okay, calm down, guys. Just remember, there's probably some weird old creep inside the costume, and Shaggy just goes like, "There's just one problem with that, Fred." Fred says, "What's that?" Shaggy puts his face against the body of the snow creature, and you can see right through him, and he's saying like the creep inside. I was like, "Oh, okay." That kind of creeps me out when I was a kid, but looking back at it now, that's the only thing it did. And I think the reason behind why the culprit did what he did was kind of stupid, if anything, and not really... didn't really have a good reason why. 34th place we have is the 30-foot Shaggy. This was the premiere episode of Series 2, and honestly, it was a dreadful one. I used to like it because I thought, hey, going to Tokyo with a robot doggo, that sounds good. And then the monster's Shaggy, but really it's not. Why? I'll never know. And to add on, the curse that was sent to someone was actually meant for someone else. And if it's for them to turn into a monster, clearly the culprit would have built a robot to kind of resemble the guy he was going for, but no, he somehow built a monster which had similar features to Shaggy, even though Shaggy was not his target. Why? First of all, I'd like to know, how did he do that? Second of all, how did he know that would happen? Because like the first time the monster was seen was directly after Shaggy got the curse, so there's no way that guy could have built it within, I don't know, a couple of hours. 33rd place is the Frozen Fiend. Now the Frozen Fiend is the ice hockey related monster, and like with the coral creature, I watched this episode over and over again and just got bored of it as I got older, realising it's not as intriguing as some people make it out to be. I get some people like the Frozen Fiend as it seems intimidating, but really I'm just not a big fan of it in my opinion. 32nd place is the Skeleton Driver. Same reason as the Frozen Fiend. I generally forgot this thing was a monster, actually. I haven't seen this episode multiple times over and over again. I get the reason behind the culprit of why he did what he did. If anything, it's actually really dangerous. But that's it. I honestly couldn't really care less about this monster, because if I forget about its existence, then I don't think it's good in my opinion. 31st place is Cold Steel. Now, Cold Steel is from an episode which I haven't seen over and over again, but an episode that I actually did not like from the start, but I grew to appreciate after trying to find the chase song that was played during the chase scene. And oh, I love that song actually. But Cold Steel is just a robot cowboy which went rogue. No real reason how and why it went rogue, but the fact they were just rebooted just so someone can impress someone else is just stupid. 30th place are the robot scarecrows. Man, robots cannot catch a break today. Like with Jeeves, they got stopped by water. I see them more iconic than Jeeves because I haven't seen their episode as frequently. But what I do remember is that their hands are just a multitude of farm weapons, which is pretty terrifying because you have like a sickle, a hook. I don't know, so many weapons, and you're just like, oh, okay, these things are actually lethal. Most of these monsters are lethal, but these ones, I think, are a whole new level. I do not remember the culprit or the reason why the culprit did what they did, but hopefully when rewatching it, I can either relate to that or completely agree why they do what they did. 29th place are the evil Mystery Incorporated clones. Now, I was originally planning to have these a bit higher on the list, but the thing that pulled it down was actually the culprit's motive behind what he did. Now, I thought having Mystery Inc. be evil is good and a great way to frame the good ones. The chase scene was great. I actually love the song. But the culprit's reasoning behind it being jealous of someone else and being jealous of Shaggy of all people, that is, in my opinion, not really that much of a motive. If anything, this guy needed therapy. He didn't need to do what he did. All he needed was therapy. 28th place, we have the... I'm going to make some enemies here. 28th place, we have the Mystery Machine. Now, the Mystery Machine is probably the most... Okay, I'm going to say this about a lot of monsters, but the Mystery Machine is probably the most unique when it comes to the monsters of this series. For the simple reason, it wasn't your stereotypical monster like a dinosaur, an alien, vampire, and so on and so forth. It was literally Mission Incorporated's van. And to add on, it was designed to seem terrifying due to the Christmas lights are underneath it. So, the most innocent of things to make it look terrifying. Not to mention, it was being controlled completely by a computer from satellite, I believe, which is just quite impressive. So it just looks like it's been possessed by a ghost or someone, which I thought was actually quite cool. For some reason though, I wasn't a fan of it when I was a kid. I do remember the chase scene though, because I remember loving it. I still love it now, and it's from probably one of the best bands of our time, being Simple Plan. Which is great, and they had a whole episode dedicated to them, so that's great, better. 27th place, we have the Headless Snowman. The final holiday-related monster has been said. Headless Snowman, at the moment, my favourite. It's probably going to get changed though. I get the culprit's motive behind it, but destroying other people's houses just to get hold of your ancestors' treasures, I think it's not a great way of doing it. I get you don't want to share your gold to anyone. I get that, but I think there's probably a better way of doing it. That's not breaking other people's houses on Christmas. 26th place is where is it? Where are you? 26th place is Wakumi. Now, if you don't know what Wakumi is, it's actually the falcon eel related monster that was in New Mexico. Overall, an alright monster, if anything, kind of boring. But same with some other monsters here that I already said. I like said chase scene, which is why they're up this high. 25th place is the Gargoyle. Same reason as Wakumi. If anything, slightly more interesting, but not as good, in my opinion. I just prefer the gargoyle over Bukumi because I prefer, I don't know, statues that move over a bird that moves. 24th place is the centaur. Originally, this was my favourite, but then as I grew older, looking back at these, there were others which I believe are better. As you may have noticed, I'm kind of rushing through these now, as this is a long list. I'm not even halfway through it yet. When I get to the top 5, I'll start giving more proper details of why some monsters are higher than they are. That was 23rd place is the zombie gladiator. Good, but it was great, but I just kind of found it boring, really, because I don't know really why. It just didn't really relate to me. But I know it's a popular villain, but I just didn't like it. 22nd place are the Ghosts of the Leland Brothers, another popular villain, but also not really memorable to me. 21st place. Now, I only remember this one because the chase scene is great, and how this monster's been introduced in its episode is great as well. And basically, legend speaks of a treasure that's hidden within the walls, though no one's ever found it or lived to tell the tale. And those who seek the treasure will only taste the flame of a 1,000-year-old dragon. Oglassi is her name. That took me so long to remember that, and I feel kind of sad actually remembering it now. But yes, the Glassbro dragon is 21st place. Personally, at the end of the day, it is just a dragon. But I think the song that's said to introduce her, as well as the chase scene, which is probably one of my favourite chase scenes in any of the Scooby-Doo episodes, is just great. That's what saves it for me. 20th place is... Now, where are you? Oh yeah, the Titanic Twist. Another popular villain, just being knocked down because I've seen this episode multiple times and got bored of it. 19th place is the Chinese Dragon. Not really popular dragon, but personally, even though I am more fan of the European related dragons over the Chinese related dragons, because they're probably more dragon shaped to me. I only put the Chinese dragon up because that chase scene in this is an absolute banger, and this is one of the episodes I've been rewatching over and over again, and I do not get bored of this one, which is great. 18th place is, now if I can find it, 18th place is, you're around here, aren't you? Trust me to not, 18th place are the Ottomons. They're Pokemon rip-offs. Okay, 17th place, that's all I can say, really. I liked it, I liked the setting for it, and also the chase scene, great. 17th place is the Scooby Snack monster. Like with the Centaur, it was at one point my favourite monster, but that kind of got decreased in favoritism or bias, because I just ended up realising, hey, why did I like this thing again? I completely forgot about it as time went on, and when we get to the top 5, those are the 5 monsters, along with probably 6th, that I remember the most before I started thinking about Scooby-Doo again. 16th place is Pharaoh Scamsies. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Honestly, the chase scene, not that intriguing. The thing that got me, though, was its design being rather creepy. Also, to add on, the unveiling of who the villain actually is. That was good. I liked it. 15th place is the alien, the purple space ape at the Cape alien. I was debating whether to call it the space ape or the alien. I just called it the alien for reasons where people might actually understand what it actually is. Honestly, kind of intriguing. One of my favourite episodes that I had access to when rewatching them multiple times as a kid. 14th place is, no, I just need to find it now, is the menacing metallic clown. And that, of course, is the giant clown on that miniature golf tournament area. Honestly, I do not know why I liked it, but it's one that stuck in my mind from when I first saw that episode to now, as it was terrifying, and honestly can't remember what episode because Shaggy was not himself, neither was Velma. Which was kind of weird, but we got explanation why Velma wasn't herself, but Shaggy, I don't even know. 13th place is okay. 13th place is Moto Shundu, and that is the sea monster in, I believe it's Hawaii. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's just a sea monster. I personally kind of liked it, but because I didn't remember it as much as I remembered the one before it, it only went up because I prefer this song that was played during, I wouldn't say it's a chase scene, more than the one with the menacing metallic clown, which was actually a chase scene. But yeah, moving on. 12th place is The Ghost of Rufus Rockus. Now this one I've always liked because I personally found magic intriguing. I always did, still do now. And to have a villain based off the ghost of a rather good magician, I thought, hey, that's kind of intriguing. And it was. The villain was obvious though, however, and I can kind of see the reason why they did what they did. But I do not agree for what they did though. 11th place is The Faceless Phantom. Kind of reminds me of Rufus Rockus for a simple reason. Being in an area which is really intriguing to someone who's a kid, Las Vegas and a movie studio. And the chase scene was just on a bunch of movie setups, which I thought was great. But that's it. It's kind of intriguing, probably one of the iconic villains on this series, but you realise it's not that dramatic of an unveiling and not one which is surprising either. It's still a good episode though, don't get me wrong. Now in the top 10, 10th place is The Gold Monster. The Gold Monster honestly has no facial expression on his face, because all he is just eyes. That's all he is on his face. I personally found it kind of interesting, and to find out the villain wasn't trying to break into Fort Knox but trying to break out is kind of intriguing. And same with the other two monsters that tried to use the Secret Six puppies for their own personal gain, whether it's to sell them or help them break out of Fort Knox, or just steal them for a secret code to a popcorn safe or very great tasting popcorn. All of them are monsters, and they're probably one of the worst. They're not worse as in terrible, but one of the most evil villains. All three of them, along with the Pharaoh and the Jungle Demons, and probably I'm going to say the Lighthouse Keeper as well. Yep, Gold Monster, really entertaining, and I like the chase scene and also the sacrifice that I believe his name was 14 Carat made. 9th place is the Cat Creature, yet another monster that went after the Secret Six. This time to sell them for profits because they're valuable puppies, and the culprits saw them as competition for their dog, who they wanted to win the dog show and become a champion like the Secret Six's mother is. That's it though. I like the chase scene though, and I thought the Cat Creature was kind of entertaining, and also the reason why I'm a dog person, not a cat person. 8th place is the Fish Fiend. Out of the top 10, this one is definitely the most forgettable out of all of them. But the thing is though, this one stuck in my mind ever since I was a kid to now, because it always has been memorable to me. because I liked the colour combo of rather light blue to rather light orange as well. It was intimidating, kind of terrifying, and even though it was kind of forgettable, I still liked it, and it stuck in my mind for a long time. Not to mention, there's a adorable little penguin there. Seventh place is the Toxic Terror. Honestly, I have no idea why it's up this high, but I kind of liked it though. I thought it was interesting. No real reason why it's up here, but I just remember it. I liked its kind of abilities, and the chase scene, not amazing, but it's good. Sixth place is the Roller Coaster. Now, with most of these villains, I can remember what they are, but I can't remember their names. For Roller Coaster, it's the complete opposite thing. I vaguely remember what it looks like, but I always will remember its name, because it's pretty similar to an amusement park attraction called a roller coaster, and then have it called a roller ghoster. I like it. It's alright. Fifth place is, when I find it, the Creepy Keeper. This is the lighthouse keeper that I was briefly talking about, and oh my gosh, the thing that the reason being why the culprit was doing what they were doing was probably one of the worst things, because all deliveries come in from ships. Turning off the lighthouse, making it, and only turning it on for when their deliveries are coming in, is kind of evil, and causes a lot of sinking ships. Honestly, I would expect this culprit to rot in the cell for a while. Fourth place is, where are you? The Baseball Spectre. Now, the Baseball Spectre to me is the best monster of Series 1, and really memorable for its sinister laugh, or its organ playing, because it's creepy background music that plays every time before it appears, which I thought was kind of good. The chase scene is intriguing, and honestly, this episode felt longer than the others because I always enjoyed it, and it made much more appearances than the others. Third place is the Saffron Psycho. I always loved this monster. For some strange reason, I always loved this one. No real reason behind it. I just thought it was a really intimidating monster. I don't really get the culprit's reasoning behind it, because she was, I'm going to say it was a she. She was straight up caught out by what she said about reason why she'd done what she did. And I just found that kind of ironic. And then just to find out the reason why she done what she did is because she can't do what she was trying to ruin. But that's not her reasoning. It will make sense when you watch the episode. I found it kind of intriguing. That side plot with the Red Man gang, not really interested in it. I just like the monster. And the whole grind games competition. I like that. Number 2. Now, if you're a hardcore Scooby-Doo fan, you know exactly which 2 monsters are left. And for number 2, I decided to go one that I haven't seen a lot. And that is the Invisible Man. The bad jokes. But yeah, the Invisible Man is number 2. This episode I had access to when I was a kid and kept rewatching over and over again. I always loved it. When I said I haven't seen this villain a lot, I literally mean I haven't seen it a lot. I found it kind of intriguing, really, the Invisible Man, and to add on, they had Simple Plan in, along with another great chase scene from Simple Plan, which is just as great. And I remember every little detail about this episode and how all the pieces of the puzzle fit in to find out that there was indeed more than one culprit. And I found that really intriguing. I liked that a lot. Number 1 is, of course, Demon Farmer. Now, no real reason why I liked it. I just haven't had access to this episode for, unlike The Invisible Man, Man San Francisco, and other ones. I didn't watch it as much because didn't have access, but this one's always stuck out to me as one that I found terrifying as a kid when I saw it, but one I wanted to see again and again because I always loved the episode. Not to mention the chase scene now played, which is not really a chase scene, more like a joust with mechanical vehicles, or as Fred said, Tractoro to Mishu Machino. The chase song, well, the song now played was kind of good. I liked it. And the demon farmer, terrifying. Like I said, with the gold monster and cat creature, going after the Secret Six puppies just to get access to the world's greatest popcorn. Honestly, kind of a bitter-ish moment for the culprit going after someone else's brand of popcorn because his wasn't great. But anyway, it doesn't stop the fact that he is my favourite villain or favourite monster. I probably will not do a ranking of the episodes for the simple reason I'll actually need to remember all the episodes instead of only remember the monsters. And also, this was only a favour for Lucas for his birthday. Happy birthday, Lucas. I hope you enjoyed this ranking. It was a whole 36 minutes long. And with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Press that notification bell down corner below. Let's see the comparison to the list when we watch What's New Scooby-Doo and see if the list changes a lot. It most likely will. Chinese Dragon will probably be behind the Glassboro Dragon. But until then, I'll see you next time.